Hey guys, what's up? This is Brandon Rage here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about anxiety. It's a huge topic that I personally have been wanting to get into for a very long time. I talk about coaching, one-on-one life coaching, um, and I can't do that. I'm busy, I'm a busy guy, so I really want to make these videos as a way to reach out to all of you who I can't do one-on-one, and you guys can just watch these videos and I can cover as much stuff as I possibly can. So anxiety, what is it? Why do we get it? You know, what's the deal with it? Anxiety is a fight or flight response from your body. That's all it is. It's your adrenaline glands or adrenal glands releasing adrenaline into your body. Now, that's great and all if you're in the jungle and a tiger pops out and you need that adrenaline in order to run away, fight the tiger to save your life. It's not cool when you're sitting in your classroom and you start feeling that way and you feel trapped and there's no way to get out, or you're in a movie theater or a restaurant or, a barbecue, anywhere where it's not going to feel good to feel panicky and feel like you need to run away. So that's what anxiety is. It's the body's way of giving you a flight or fight response. Now, a little bit into my anxiety. When did I get it? What was the deal with it? I got anxiety for the first time when I was about 15 years old. I didn't know what was going on, because until then, I had still been somewhat of an alcoholic, confident guy drumming, doing my thing, not really caring about anything, thought I was as healthy mentally as, anyone in the world. And then I got my first anxiety attack and I was like, holy crap, what's going on? Am I going to die? I feel like I'm going to die. Oh my God. And then a lot with anxiety comes fear and fear of getting another anxiety attack. So the fear of getting an anxiety attack alone will give us anxiety attack the next day. Say we wake up and we're like, oh man, we had a bad anxiety attack yesterday and I'm afraid of getting another one today. Is it going to happen? That alone, that kind of thinking is going to give you an anxiety attack. Okay, so anxiety, what does anxiety feel like? Anxiety feels horrible. I'm sure you all know. It feels like your heart's racing, you're going to have a heart attack, you're tight, a lot of pressure in this region, a lot of shortness of breath. It just feels really awful, really uncomfortable. Not to mention you feel like you need to get out and run away. And it's very debilitating, whether you're at work or, like myself touring, playing shows in front of all these people, anywhere. It just sucks. It's awful. It makes life, miserable. And I know a lot of you feel this way, and that's why I'm doing these videos. I've had anxiety for a very long time. I'm almost 24. I started seeing a counselor when I was about 15. His name was Phil, and he taught me some of the best stuff that I could have ever learned. And it helped me so much just to help me grow mentally as an individual. And those are the main things that I want to share with you today. Is what he really taught me, because that's what really got me to where I needed to be, was his teaching. So let's just start with this. Anxiety comes from our childhood, really. It comes from the way our parents raised us, how they raised us, what they did to us when we were young, how they loved us, how they taught us, You know, our parents are a lot to blame for our issues as adults here because a lot of them didn't give us what we needed. They didn't give us the love we needed, they didn't give us the right affection. And so, at the age where we were taking in information and we were developing ourselves as little humans, you know, developing our mind for how we're going to be when we're adults, they were not filling it with the right stuff. You know, a lot of our parents have issues of their own and are hurt, wounded people on their own. So, so hurt, wounded people raising kids, we're going to end up like them, right? And that's what happens. You know, most of our families are loving, you know, and that's fine. My family was loving. I always, you know, got the food, the clothes that I needed. You know, it was a good childhood. But there was still a lot of things that weren't right, you know, and I think a lot of us can agree that that our parents weren't healthy and they didn't, you know, raise us the best way. You know, a lot of our parents were alcoholics, drug users, you know, jealous people, insecure people. That's a big one, insecurity. Our parents were insecure, you know, they raised insecure people. So, yeah, a lot of our anxiety is caused from our childhood. Now, what Phil taught me a cool thing was, okay, we have our child, we have our adolescent teen, and then we have our adult. And they all have to be in order because obviously we're adults now. We can think, we can rationalize, we have power. We can live in this world fine. But if our child is not fine, you know, and we're all wounded children, if our child that's wounded has never healed, we still feel that pain because we are those children. You know, we obviously grew up, but when we're adults, we still feel that child's pain because we are that child. So, what we have to do is go back in time and think about when we were kids and what happened to us. Was there some sort of abuse in the house? Were our parents alcoholics? You know, were our parents insecure? Did they hurt us real bad as a kid? You know, are we carrying all this stuff into our adulthood? You know, and is it affecting our relationships? You know, so you have to go back, think about that, and you have to almost nurture that child. Sounds crazy, sounds like, whoa, what the hell is going on with Brandon telling me this right now? But that's what we have to do, you know, in order to fix this mental problem, you know, our depression, our anxiety, we have to go back into when we started learning, you know, and when we were getting wounded as kids. The next thing is relationships, you know, anxiety in relationships. Relationships, significant relationships like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, really bring out the anxiety and the fear in us, you know. Because when you give your heart to somebody, you start to love somebody, that's when you notice your powers, you start to lose your power and you start getting jealous and you start getting worried and needy. Therefore, you get more anxiety. Because at the beginning of the relationship, you were very confident, you were very self-sufficient, you know, and then as time goes on, you start falling for the person, things turn in reverse, and now you're needy, not confident, and have anxiety. It's because when you give yourself to somebody, your heart, you become transparent, and then that's when all your insecurities come out. That's what happened to me. My first significant relationship is when I started noticing how insecure I was. This was about 15, 16 years old. And it was the best learning lesson ever. I think our first love relationship is the best learning lesson that we can get. And so that's when I got my first anxiety attack, when I was in that relationship, a significant relationship. And that's when I started seeking help because I didn't want to have this anxiety anymore. And then I started digging in there, you know. Something a scary place I've never been. You know, a lot of us, it's a very scary thing to reach out and get help and go back to those places of extreme hurt. Just from talking one on one with people before, I know people don't want to go back there, and I know people are too afraid to go back there to that scary place of what you're hiding and holding down there. And that's why people never get help, because they don't want to go down there and they don't want to deal with those problems, so they have anxiety and they live somewhat normal